Oh my god, guys, hi! It's
Hi.
one day to go until our show is back. I'm so excited. Tomorrow's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. We have so many great guests coming up for tomorrow's show. Really, really, really excited to talk to all of them.
Yes, we have the brilliant Danny Beard.
We have Alexis Michelle from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh my god, yeah, she is like,
oh yeah, she's
so
sweetie.
close to my heart. And then we have the fantastic, and I would say Transblazer,
the Rose of Dawn. Check out her YouTube. Her videos are bang on.
Oh yeah, so bang on. And then we have the amazing Laura Whittle, who's going to be doing some great makeup looks for the transformation, I would say.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to meeting all of them. But we wanted to do a little pre-show thing tonight, just to kind of say hi to everyone and what's everyone up to, how's your night going, how's the week treating you, all that kind of stuff. How's the week treating you?
It is so hard. I have no life. This is all I do. No, the week's been really, really interesting and really fun and quite dynamic. I've been really interested in lots of online videos, especially last night's Rose of Dawn episode, which had so many likes, so many followers, and so much interesting conversation. They discussed everything from, hi Ryan, they discussed everything from identifying as non-binary and the validness of it, I would say. Yeah. And they also discussed the bathroom scenario and how people are scared. I'm going to say that, Jossy. I'm going to go off on one.
Yeah.
People are scared to go to the bathroom, and I get it. I'm scared to go to the bathroom. If I walk into the bathroom and I'd say dad, because my dad is like the typical guy. He's even got a white van.
Yeah, he's a white van.
He doesn't drink, but he's got a white van. And he was literally stood in front of me with a blonde wig on and a dress, expecting the instant, hi, how you doing? No problem. That's really scary. I would feel more comfortable if that person of openly identified. So noticing the situation you're in, being aware of the situation you're in,
and taking responsibility.
And taking responsibility. Love that. Taking responsibility and explaining. We've been in situations before just like that.
Oh my god, yes.
And
we were in a situation.
It's close to our heart. So if you are a trans woman and you are, I don't know, not so good at passing or maybe clocked more than the other girls out there, I do not think there is an issue of you saying publicly, you know what, guys, I'm a trans woman. I'm on a journey, just like you're on a journey, and this is part of my journey, and being accepted in your spaces, which are my spaces, is important. That would be better than what we're seeing happening. Yeah, because the whole in the sound. F you, I don't care, accept me, accept my dick, this is my beard, and it's just like,
I don't wear wigs.
It's like, you stood there and you're like, okay. Similar thing happened to us. So we used to go to a gym.
This is a story. So it was about, it'll be about 3 years ago now.
It was
about 3 years ago. Me and Fay were at the gym, and we'd been to Aqua. And as we were coming into the changing room, we'd been through all the showers, and we were just in the changing room, and we just heard this kerfuffle. And we heard somebody shout.
Kerfuffle, all right.
Kerfuffle.
All right, 1982 over here. The kerfuffle was everything.
We heard these women saying, "It's a man. There's a man in here."
Busted! I literally thought I was busted.
I looked at her, she looked at me, but nobody looked at us. That was quite an interesting thing.
That was the weird thing. And you know what it was over? A blue towel.
Yeah, some lady had brought in a blue towel, and I think had been
it's a monster.
Swimming in like a tankini or something, and she put the towel in the shorts over the shower cubicle, and somebody mistook it for a man.
And one more thing as well, I do believe that woman was from a different background to us.
And yeah, she was a different ethnicity, so she would have been more covered.
But not just more covered, also, think that an ethnicity, they don't really shave. So I bet they even looked and thought, do you know what I mean? And that is, to me, like, come on, guys, a blue towel, it's a man, run, get the pitchforks.
But when it was happening,
It was scary.
I genuinely thought that, God, I could be outed here. Faye could have been outed. We both could have been outed. And
it's in Biker, so it's pretty rough.
yes, just being in that situation.
So
It was a very strict. It was bizarre.
very
it was bizarre.
Very bizarre, yeah.
I don't like the term passing privilege, but I think in that instance, because we went unclocked. In that instance, yeah.
But we always go unclocked. We always go unclocked. I cannot remember the last time someone was like, "There's a man." I can't. I literally can't. And that's not me being like, look at me, because they literally look at me. Like, I got like big messy hair. I wear big tops. Like, if anything, I'm like a frumpy dyke. Like, if that, you know what I mean? If that was like going to be the thing.
Yeah, she lives in joggers.
I live in joggers, and I love joggers. But the fact that as simple as a blue towel is putting the fear into people is worrying. And it's a concern, and it makes people who do have the passing privilege a little bit more worried, because what if because people seem to be digging and trying to find out and trying to see who's this and who's that, and all this kind of unnecessary attention is happening onto us, when realistically, if the people that don't have passing privilege for now, which is not going to be forever, actually take responsibility and like I used to, like you used to. Like, look at our Instagram story. I did not always look this good.
If you knew me in 2007, it doesn't.
I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. She was crazy. She was Amy Winehouse. It was scary.
Oh, I was Amy Winehouse.
But we were very eager to not put ourselves in danger. I would happily go to the disabled toilet. Why not? Cubicle yourself, mirror.
I used to. If I was going to the ladies, I would go with a friend or my cousins or whoever I was out with. I would never go alone. So I always felt if I went with somebody, I would be safe. And even if somebody said something, I would have somebody there, sort of like having my back almost and saying, well, you know, she's at the start of a journey, of a transition.
Someone to explain your situation.
Yeah.
And what irritates me now, it's like, well, I don't have to explain my situation. Well, you do. Actually,
it's the world we live in, and it's the society that we're in, and I don't know what else to say.
But it's not a bad thing that's the society. Well, it's a bad thing to want to be safe.
Exactly.
Look what's just happened in the news that Blair White's been speaking about, and many other of our fellow bloggers. There's a trans person basically pulling the trans card out, basically saying, "Oh, I'm transgender. Let me out of prison." This twat. God. Abused.
Don't get me started on her again.
15 different people in the age range of 1 to 15 over many years, and now because he identifies as trans, he's not a threat. Come on, guys, really? Do you actually think that is going to be a progressive impression of what society is seeing of the trans community? No. That is basically us saying, you know what, you guys, you cis people, fuck you, we'll do what we want. And now it is becoming almost a popular thing to either say, I'm transgender, it'll get me out of prison or get me in the paper or whatever, or I'm actually non-binary. And this is the thing about non-binary as well, which I do not get and people get really offended by. Well, not everyone, but some people. Being non-binary to me is an actual thing. It's not a thing. Let me finish.
I'm gonna.
It's not a thing. But from my experience, personally,
yeah.
It's almost like a stopping gap. And it's like, I'm gonna put my fingers on my toes in the water, see how this is, see how it kind of feels to identify as something that doesn't mean surgery, it kind of doesn't mean even dressing that way, almost to see what it's like. And people are abusing it. I said it. They are abusing it.
It's a fashion almost. For some, I'm not saying for all, I just
Louis Vuitton is fashion, darling. Nothing, you know what I mean?
It's a fad.
Like, it's a fad, but it's an okay fad. This is I'm so like, because it's okay to have a stopping gap or create a safe word that makes you feel comfortable. I have to let her speak. That
No,
makes you feel comfortable and allows you to be you. And if that's fine. But please don't come for my shit.
Oh yeah, well it's all
I
about.
don't share.
So
I'm on socials.
How I see it. So if we're talking about non-binary, I see it as more of a gender expression.
Love that.
That is how I see it. So I don't see it as an identity. I understand non-binary as kind of being a new way of saying androgynous, and androgyny has been around since forever. When I started my transition, I'm very open about how my transition started. And there was a period in my life where I would say I was gender non-conforming, I was gender queer, if you like, androgynous. I was mixing, girl with boy, but it was obviously heading more towards the girl. But I get that what Faye was saying about some people who are saying they're non-binary, it might just be like almost, I don't want to say limbo, but kind of like the middle ground between male and female.
And that's okay.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, the gender binary, if you look at it, it's so broad, and everybody's a little bit gender non-conforming or non-binary or whatever, because a woman can wear man's clothes but still call herself a woman. I know women like that. I know women who wear.
Well, your mum,
my stepmom, she is, she doesn't wear female clothing. She likes to wear male clothing, and she feels comfortable in that. But she would never say that I am non-binary and now you must use they, them, or ze, zim, zam.
But that's another thing as well. Being something isn't just updating your profile on your bloody socials with your new pronouns and having a celebration. That is like the most biggest pile of shit I've ever known in my life. Because if that was the case, I haven't got transgender on my profile.
Well, no.
So what does that mean? I'm not transgender. And it's like upsetting that now it's almost okay to be whatever you want to be and get everything that comes with that. I don't think so. I think that's a crock of shit. I think if you're going to be something, then be something and accept it. Just like I've always said about the almost, as you said, limbo sexuality of a guy that likes someone with a bit of extra and a nice femininity. Who cares? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But people are scared of that and hide from that because it's taboo. Well, you know what? Best 5 years of my life were taboo, baby. And I'm going to be honest. The best 5 years of my life were taboo on a sexual level. But now I've
get you, girl, because I've been there.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? We've both been there. And what do you guys think? Do you guys think now it's almost a fad to be a fad? Let us know your thoughts.
So this is just kind of my thing.
She's not finished.
Just to kind of wind this one down. I kind of almost feel that people just think being heterosexual or whatever, I don't like the term, but I'm just going to say cisgender is boring. It's not, because there's so many boxes that we fit into in life, and you don't have to put yourself into a box. And
unless you're a magician's assistant.
Unless you're a magician's assistant.
Unless you are a magician. That was the best. I swear down, this was not planned. That was not
planned at all.
But we are with you. We are with you. Hashtag
we stand with Yasmin.
Oh my God, why is Jeff so horrible? Coronation Street fans, I know we've jumped so dead, but my God, that woman is so close to my heart, and probably because of personal experience with my family, I have seen that at first hand. Bullying, everything that goes with that, and control, it's just disgusting. So we stand with her and be strong until the next episode of Corrie.
Which is tomorrow.
After the show, of course. Why would we before? Because we've got to watch it. Moving on. And it is something that we have been chatting about, and I don't know what that is. Ignore it. Chatting about and discussing more than anything really lately. I identify as Fay.
We were talking about this in the car.
We were. Which is something we're going to start soon as well, our car sessions. But that sounds really dodgy. So I identify as Fay Jossy identifies as Jossy, do we still identify as being transgender?
It was a very interesting discussion we had in the car, because I would say I'm a woman of trans experience and a trans history. Some of that history it's not as recent as it's not that recent, but it's not so far away. And we obviously were talking in the car how this year it's 10 years, phase 10
years
since she
I'm
had
10, guy. I'm so young.
since she
Look
had her
at
surgery,
me.
and mine is 6. So because I'm a little in that respect and transition, maybe I'm a little bit behind. I don't know. And I was also thinking this in some instances, being trans is just brought up. I'm going to bring up the dating thing because it's something that I feel that I've got to constantly bring up. I kind of feel that when you're in a relationship with somebody and you're not having to bring it up at all, that's fantastic.
A bit like my dating experience,
Uh-huh.
I'm quite vocal about bringing it up. But just bringing it back, because I really do want to get it really, like, the whole I am a trans woman. No. I have transitioned to become a woman. I am a trans ally, supporter, and I have been on my own trans journey. But I identify as a woman because I have almost complete every stage that I felt, and bloody hell, goddamn everyone else out there, was the woman side of it. And I genuinely believe that Jossy needs to just go and check what the puppies are doing, because if they're ripping up the toilet roll, I'll cry, but I'll continue.
Yeah.
So it's trying not to. There she goes. Watch. Oh, there. So being a trans woman is so important to a lot of people, but being a woman is really important to me. And I would say we are a woman as well. But I also feel like sometimes I have to kind of give up. Did they destroy? No, it's fine. Give up the trans flag, and not because I'm just supporting it, because I'm like, well, I'm done. Like, beep, beep, get me off the ride. Let me now help others on the same journey and understand transitioning is risky. Lots of people are detransitioning at the moment, like literally fully transitioning and then fully turning back. What a process. Like, wow, I can't even get my head around that. We're there. Wow.
Yeah. So,
wow.
Kind of just go and
do what Sherwood.
Snap out of it.
Snap out of it.
So for me, I kind of think when I started this whole thing, what was the words I said? I didn't say I want to be transgender. I did not say that. So I'm a woman. That's what.
Oh, mine was millionaire.
But that's my goal.
I'm going there.
Oh well, that's the other thing she's identifying.
Oh yeah.
She's working.
Can I just identify that, and then will everyone just? That is such a good angle.
So that was always my goal, was to get to a stage in my life where I felt like a woman. For me, that was before I had my gender reassignment. I did feel like a woman. I started to feel like myself like a woman a few years, I would say for me, it was about 2 years before I had that surgery. It was almost as if, right, this is definitely 100% my life now. I'm that far into it.
Yes.
That I'm not going to go back.
So is this the reason, I'm just putting this out there for you guys, actually, and you.
Yeah.
Do you feel this is the reason that a lot of people almost harp on, like, we talk about trans issues and topics, but we're genuinely not talking about ourselves as much. We're kind of like jumping to other people. We'll tell people our story, but that's because we were either asked or people are asking a question, so we incorporate it in our kind of discussion.
Part of the conversation.
Do you feel like, because they haven't fully transitioned like me, and maybe feel like, it's like a weird feeling, you're like, I'm done. Like, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like they're almost still in limbo? Because I get the whole thing about like not having surgery, but realistically, guys, to fully be a woman, this is going to get me in so much trouble. You kind of can't have a dick. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not saying you can't feel and be a woman in your own right with a penis, but my opinion, and I would still sit down and have tea with you, is like, if you haven't fully transitioned to where like a kind of a woman's entity is, then maybe that's what's holding you back. So don't interpret me and going as you can't be a woman if you got a penis. I'm flipping that. Do you maybe think you are still in limbo because of that?
Mm-hmm. Because you haven't aligned your body to
your mind,
to be the same as the same as a born woman.
I
don't like the term cisgender. I really don't like it. I could get.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I just want to have a look at some of the comments.
Yeah.
What do you guys think on? Because the world is really sensitive, and I wonder if they're still so sensitive because they're still stuck in limbo.
One thing you just reminded me of there, when we were watching the live broadcast with Rose, she did this as well with Blair White and Ariel Saccarella.
Oh yeah,
I think that's how you pronounce her surname. I will learn that. They were talking about transitioning before it was trendy, and I can remember what they call the transgender tipping point, and that was around 2013, 2014, and in that I was at uni at that time, and I was well into my transition. It was a year or two before I had my surgery, but I felt a part of that. I felt like, oh wow, like people are starting to listen to people like me. I can kind of use that, and I did with university. I basically studied transgender and drag because it was something I was living, and I got really good marks in it. So
I'm just reading some of the questions.
Yeah, but it's about it before it was trendy. That's all.
I'm gonna jump back. I just want to answer some of the comments before they disappear. So, how long does it take to transition? For me, I was like in a race, like bitch. I was running, and I wanted to be done like tomorrow. Like, as soon as the doctors were like, "Oh, you need to live as a woman for like 2 years," they've been doing that for like ages. Like, does this class, does that class? But it needed to be like evidence kind of thing. But for me, I would say my full transition from like me realizing I want to be a woman or I am a woman. Why do I go country? Is probably from the age of like fully new, like 15, 16. Because before it was very confusing. There's no information. But if I was to go like back 11, wow. But realistically, 15, 16. And then I got my boobs done when I was like 21, and that was only because of money, honey. Nothing else. So, yeah, if you've got money, you're sorted, and that's the truth. Like, look on our Instagram pages and see our journey. It's scary, and it's funny, and it's not just down there, guys. And it's not a bad thing, but it is really, really, really scary for us that now in America, this is the thing. People have taken so long to fully transition, and Jossy explained
because it can take a while.
It is so expensive as well.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, guys, if you're here listed, please like, share, and don't forget to love the worst heart ever. Love. But yeah, I mean, it is.
Yeah, for you, I would say working out the maths. 5-6 year process.
5-6 year process, fully complete. You want me to be honest, guys? I've still got problems, which is an episode we're going to talk about.
But it can take other people longer. It took me nearly 10 years.
10 years.
It took me nearly 10 years to fully, from knowing it and starting. But everybody has a different story. There was kind of stuff going on with the gender identity clinic around the time that me and Fay would have been getting seen. The psychologist, Dr. Board, actually died before I could meet him, but Faye did meet him, and that kind of put everybody back, and there was this whole stuff going on back then. So
it was very, very, very
and the
scary.
Support, I don't think the support was.
There was no support.
It wasn't. I go back to when I was like 18, and I knew when I wanted to transition, I got told, be a priest. So you can wear a dress, and you don't have to worry about having sex with men. And I was like, do you know anything about the Catholic Church, love?
Wow, that's very true. Going back to just what you were talking about.
Yeah. What was I talking about?
What was she talking about?
We've been talking about a lot.
We've been talking about many things. But what you were just talking about before I jumped in and started reading the comments. Look at this. Completely off subject.
Because we went down another road.
So, obviously, fully transitioning takes many people different years.
Yeah.
Different time scales. But if you're prepared to fully transition and you get to a point to then detransition, it's like a whole a whole different avenue of worry. I am still not done. I know that sounds mad, like still not done, but I'm just not. I still have had an issue, and I'm addressing that like we all do. But it's so shady that you can't have a cut-off point of help. So as soon as I had surgery, I was almost kicked out the club. Go deal with it yourself, and you are literally left to your own devices.
Oh yeah. Well, I only recently got discharged last year because I had to change my form of medication from pill form to patches, and they realized that I still hadn't been discharged, even though I only had one appointment after my surgery, and this is like this is 5 years ago since I had that, and
just going off.
I got discharged by a letter just saying that was it, and I was just like, God, like if I had any more problems, or if I was like going through things, you just left, and that is the whole thing. Like once you post up, you kind of just cast aside.
But
you're no longer part of the club.
Being transgender and being identifying as any other thing at the moment is almost on trend, and it's worrying.
Yeah,
it is really worrying, and I think the more people that can talk about it like us, because it's not worrying like it's a bad thing, we're all gonna die. Like some people are like the way some people's videos are. Like I saw a video last night, and it was almost like, oh my god, my dad's in the ladies, like kind of thing. But why? Yeah, like I didn't approach it like that at the start of this video. I was just like, well, it could. This is the feeling it could be like. And when I mean about being self-aware of your situation, I just want to get into this as well. It's about being self-aware of other people's feelings. So you are walking into a space that is safe for women.
Oh, I feel very strongly about this.
Women shall go off.
So strongly about
women,
this.
And it is for women who are from all backgrounds. So just imagine you are a woman, naturally born, cis, all the fucking acronyms, and you were severely abused. You are in a changing area. You maybe be an older lady at the time, and a person walks in, very, very visible male characteristics. You get worried and go, oh my god, what are you doing in here? They flip out because they're entitled, whatever, and they then go off at this old person because they're discriminate, they're an old biddy, they don't know. Whoa, why don't you just stop, sit the fuck down and take 20 pence back out of you, because who the hell put that in you, and think, what has this person been through? Because you know what, when you explain your story, that's the first thing they're going to think about you. And how shit is that you can't even put them first, because it's all about yourself.
Exactly. Oh, I'm not going to go on about it, but I feel so strongly about...
2 seconds. Samantha, the system lets everyone down. On all aspects of it. In different aspects, the system. It helps, but God, it deteriorates them, and it's just terrible. Go ahead.
So yeah, I could talk for hours about the whole women in single-sex spaces, and I think it's important. I think it's so important for women to be listened to, for born women. Women's sex-based rights are important. They were really, they were hard-won rights, and
you think?
I don't want to say I don't want to say it's like we need to be invited into the club, because I would say that I'm a woman. I would say,
I would say if you identify as if you identify as a woman, then yeah, you're a woman. But for frick's sake, be mindful of the environment and the places you're going, because it's like bullshit. Like this whole thing that just came out about Olympics and people doing sports. Hey, listen, if they've transitioned and they are a female and they're taking estrogen and they're on the same level as you, well, I'm sorry. I have seen some naturally born women look like fierce men. Massive men lifting big things, and they are women, like naturally born women. So you can't just be like, because if him or she didn't say, I'm actually a trans person, probably wouldn't have even known. And that's what the piss take of it. It's because they've been open and honest, like everyone should be, that they've been criticized and chastised and told, no, get out the club. Sorry, bitch, just because they can win you, that isn't an excuse to kick them out of the club. That should make you try harder. Okay? Sorry, I went off. I know. I'm back on the socials.
So I'm just reading the comments, and I feel as if there's a story in this one. So Sasha, I remember the day we came to collect your car from the hospital after surgery, and the nurse brought you a single paracetamol on a silver tray, like a carry-on film, and you screamed something hilarious at her. I can only imagine.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
I can only imagine her reaction.
I don't know her. No, but it is so serious, and it is so disappointing that now we are attacking ourselves.
Oh yeah,
like other trans women are having a go at this person who can win Olympic medals because they may be stronger. Well, duh, they've probably put in more work because you know why? Do you know why? Because you fucking have to. You have to, as a trans person or a non-binary person or anyone that's fucking different. You have to put more work on and more work in and hard graft because you know what? You're never going to be accepted unless you're the best. And that's how it is in this world. You've got to be up there. You've got to be strong. You've got to be the kind of the best, the toughest, all this. And then when they do it, it's almost like, oh, well, no, actually, we found out you're trans or you've announced you're trans. So you can't be, but they can. I appreciate that some people are annoyed because they may have not even started a transition. I have to call you out on that one. If you haven't even took like an estrogen tablet and you're literally putting a scrunchie in your hair and going, I'm a girl. Okay, guys, back up. Like, there's too much testosterone. You're going to be way too strong. But I will say there's going to be a woman out there stronger than you because there always is. Because us women are the better species.
We are.
It's true. Go.
It's like she reads my mind sometimes. It's so mad. We've been having that over the past.
Oh my god, yeah, we have. So bad.
We've literally been thinking of things we've just been thinking of things, and like before I've said it, she's thought of it, and vice versa. That is so weird. When you were just talking there about like how we kind of fit into society almost, what I find so strange, and I don't know if you would feel the same about any other trans people, but growing up, I always felt different, and I never felt included or that I ever fit in. And how weird is it that after all of that, in a transition,
she met me.
I met her, but I kind of fit in now. How mad is that?
Am I going to get picked first for baseball?
The crazy thing is, I don't, the way I act, the way I speak, the way I carry myself has not changed. This kind of comes to something that you mentioned before, you know, when I zoned out. I was thinking of something. I was deep in thought. So it all comes to perception, and part of being accepted as a woman for me almost as other people perceiving me, and I don't mean me getting dolled up in all the makeup and hair massive and that. No,
but that is nice.
Oh, that's lovely. But I mean, if you can go out your front door, the state that the people in my shop see me in, honestly, no,
she's a trotter.
Like literally, get a girl that can do both.
She's came to my house sometimes and I'm like, bitch, have you walked out the house like that? And she's like, yeah, and I'm like,
yeah, totally, you got the bus.
Who
like
cares?
Honestly, and I don't care about that. But in those moments, I'm not getting misgendered. And you know, the other day,
would you be bothered if you did get misgendered?
I don't know, because I think those people don't know me. But
why are you going to worry about what other people's opinions?
I don't care.
Classic rule.
Classic
RuPaul, right? Do not mind what other people think about you. Especially people that aren't even in your circle. Why would you care? They're not going to affect me. But I get it because you know why it affects us. Because it's a little bit embarrassing.
Yeah.
It is embarrassing. It is uncomfortable. And people aren't kind when they do it. I have literally had someone walk up to me and go, you're a man, and then feel between my legs just to check. And I was like, good old Stanley.
I was out once. God, this was early days. I was out once. And I was just sat at a bar, and a group of people just walked past me and started saying, man eater. And I was just, and it was at me. And I was mortified. And I also remember as well one night, and it was like something out of a comedy sketch. Again, early days, and I was walking out of a club, and people were just laughing at us, and I tripped over my heels. And I literally was so mortified. And that is like, it was mortifying because I was like, they're not thinking that I'm a woman. And now I can't even walk, and sorry for swearing, but I can't even walk in fucking heels. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I've been wearing these for like long enough now. I should be able to. But then I just thought, hey, they don't know me, and they don't know how I'm going to look next year and the year after, and they don't know how I'm going to be.
Can I just stop? We've got some interesting comments.
Yes, I did see that, yeah.
So telling your family members, you know, we were just, you, Samantha, are in our head as well. We were just chatting about this the other day. When I told my family that I was gay, because I was a gay guy. Being trans wasn't even thought about. Like, literally, it wasn't. Queer as folk was on the telly. Like, literally. Do you know what I mean? When I told my family I was gay, my mum completely, she just knew. My sister knew. My dad, oh my God, it was the worst thing ever. Like, it crumbled him, and it was horrible to watch. But when I realized and told them I was trans with the help of my sister, which, like, thank God, it was hard because the people I'm close to now were mainly the people that kind of rejected me. Do you know what I mean? Like, some of my sisters, they were like, no, almost took the mick out of me because I was mid-transition and didn't like all this flawlessness. But my dad came to London and was like, it was mad. No, like, it was like, what? It was mad because it was the first time I realized, and this is the thing as well. So he rejected us, he hated us, he called us loads of names, like the worst names. But then when he came to London with my granddad, it was totally bright. It was like emotional blackmail. I was like, oh, my granddad's grandfather, all that stuff. And I was like considering it. And he basically said, just come home, we'll sort you out, we'll do this, and just be a gay man. And I didn't get that. I was like, what? That is the weirdest thing to come out with. And then I sat down with him and he was like, I'm really scared. Like, you're going to get hurt. They'll literally, out of my dad's, they're going to kill you. Because back then, we weren't all celebrated as much as we were. Like, we weren't. And that struck resonance for me. I was like, oh my God, my father isn't ashamed. He's fucking petrified. And that's what a lot of you guys forget.
Comes from, yeah.
It's
coming from a place
of love and fear. And oh my God, am I going to fully lose them? I'd rather them be unhappy and maybe be gay or just not transition and still have them in my life than lose them because the world's bad. That's the scary thing. And when I told my family, it was almost easier to tell them because I gauged what they were like. But if you aren't close, because I was close, it's a bloody free fall.
Yeah, but you see, so my story, my family, all in all, was very, very accepting. My grandma is absolutely fantastic.
My grandma was fine as long as I wasn't wearing heels.
Oh no!
All she used to say was, "Please don't come in with those. Do 60 cigarettes a minute. Don't come in with those heels on." And then I could hear it every time. She can wear the makeup, but why she got to wear them bloody heels? Yeah, I loved it. I swear she was, God rest her soul, because she was the only person that was like there, my full childhood when I was a little boy, to like seeing as, wow, like grown woman. So that was quite big for me. Just to let you know, all know, guys, we're going to be live tomorrow from 5 with many guests. Alexis, Danny Beard, Rose of Dawn, and a brilliant makeup tutorial with Laura. But please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our Instagram. I just thought I'd get that in our YouTube and our Facebook, and I'll shut up.
Right, okay. So my family, all in all, were accepting. My dad's side of the family, not so much. It did take a few years. I'm going to share a story with everybody, and something that happened to me very recently. It happened last year. My dad's wife, my stepmom, died last year. She had cancer and she had been ill for years, and she died. I hadn't seen her for, I think it was about 10 years. So she never really knew me as Jossy. And it wasn't as if they were not accepting of me. I just think lives went in separate directions. So when she died, I knew in that instance that what I do now is important. So I went down to my dad's, and my dad lives in Portsmouth.
Miles away.
And my younger brother lives with them as well. And I hadn't seen my younger brother as well for about 10 years. So it shocked me when I seen him. So he must have got a shock. But the thing,
changed. You look different. Oh my God.
So when I was down there, how it kind of went for me, there was no emotional outburst. There was no long drawn out conversation. It was just quiet acceptance. And one night, me and my two brothers were talking, and we were just talking about, how like, I do have a full brother and a half brother, but we never say half. My other brother says he doesn't have half pints. He doesn't do families in halves. And Tom said that when he talks to people, he says he's got a brother and a sister. And it
those moments.
And it wasn't like, oh my God, Tom, that's so lovely. It was just cool that he said it, and the conversation just continued, and we got quite drunk that night in the pub.
First card, my dad to my daughter. It broke my heart. I was like, oh my God, when was yours? When was the first time you got one of those cards? But it actually was like,
to my daughter,
wow. Or to your daughter, or
been
something that really was on the female side. My dad's even had like lipstick on it and stuff.
Wow.
It was so cute.
I would probably say from my mom and also from my grandma, and then just other people in the family, family friends as well. Just that kind of acceptance. Like, as much as I'm saying my family was accepting, the community I'm from, not so much. And I'm not like happy religious. My family's not religious, but we were from that kind of community, and it was a very tight knit, snobby community. And I can remember one of my grandma's friends, and I like this lady, and we get on now. But I can remember her saying, like, do you really want to go down this road? Like, do you not know how hard your life is going to be? And what, like, we can accept you if you want to be gay, but this is just a step too far. And a lot of my grandma's friends would say that it was a phase. And my grandma is like, she's like my biggest champion. And she's like, well, it's a phase that's lasted like nearly 15, 16 years now.
It's a long bloody phase, guys.
Phase.
I'm exhausted with this phase.
All families are different. And like I say, all in all, yes, I did get massive acceptance from my mom's side of the family, and my dad's, it just came later, and it came naturally, because you have to remember as well that families have to adjust to this. And
massively.
I'm a big supporter of families getting support. They don't. When I was going through my transition, and I'm sure when you were going through, not once was
there's
any
no
family
support for my mum. I went to therapy with my mum to help my mum, and I kind of put myself on the back burner because I knew my mum was really like struggling. And it was like literally, she lost a child, like she did. As much as you want to dance around it, she literally lost her child. It was like heartbreaking for her. But she grew to love it. She grew to get over it. She grew to kind of make it better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the biggest thing. We want to be accepted, all of us, as our different quirks. But we also need to accept other people's different quirks, whether that being taking a longer time to accept who you are, or fearing for your life, because this world is scary. As you all know, always on the news, every other day, is about some trans person, something bad happening to them. It's not all like that, and that's the biggest message we are trying to share. It's not always like that. It really isn't. Well, the biggest message we're trying to share is who's on the show tomorrow, but we're always off subject.
Yeah, that's like literally what we were doing this for, and like
this
just happens.
But it's really important to understand that the world isn't the worst place in the world, the worst place ever. But the world is the world, and remember the world we live in. It is not full of rainbows and bloody lollipops and all that crap. It's full of rapists and criminals and murderers, and really nice people who want to give you cuddles, and best friends, and family who love you, and great people around you, and great people who come and watch us and help us and talk to us and support us. So if I'm sat now coming back to just ending this little episode and winding down, look around you. If you're in a room on your own, pick up the phone, drop someone a message, because I'm looking at 173 people right now. No, 70 anyway. And I want to say hi, and I want to talk to you. And remember, we're not alone, no matter what you're going through, because we do discuss everything, and mental health at the moment is massive. And we should remember to talk to each other.
In that, and I will say this every episode, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so listen more than you can talk. And that's the thing. We need to talk to each other, but we need to listen. And sometimes just listen without judgment.
Well, that's the thing. And the world would be a better place. I literally have seen the world deteriorate around me, unfortunately. But on a lighter note, we're all happy again. We will be here tomorrow from 5 p.m, running probably until 7:30 with 4 amazing guests. I cannot wait to chat to Danny Beard.
And I am looking forward to chatting to Rose of Dawn. Oh my god, I have so much to talk to her. And
So
Alexis
many
Michelle
questions.
and Danny Beard. I'm just excited for the makeup artist, everyone.
Our beautiful makeup artist, Laura, will be joining us. You can see her Instagram channel. We'll share all the links. But she'll be joining us from Instagram. And she's going to show us some fantastic transgender looks and how to feminize the face. I think she could teach me some, because I am sick of getting filler. This jaw just keeps getting bigger. And it's not the filler, it's the fat, it's the food. But anyway, guys, we'd like to say bye. And you have been great. And please like, share, subscribe. And don't forget, we are on many different social networks. We have, like, literally, this super queen is all over it. We have Facebook that we're probably on right now. We have our YouTube channel, which we're wanting to build. And we have Instagram. But once again, guys, I've been Fay Louise.
And I have been Jossy.
Yendel.
I'm dropping the
Oh, she's dropping in shit. That was totally bad, too. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for staying. Thanks for chatting. Please send us any direct messages, any questions, any subject you want us to talk about. And we'll see you tomorrow from 5. Bye, guys.
Bye for now.